Hi guys, welcome to my affordable watch collection. My name is Aviv, and today we are taking a look at a gorgeous, retro-looking, racing-themed, mecha quartz-operated chronograph, the Forzo EnduraTimer. For the sake of full disclosure, I contacted Forzo about this watch, and they offered to lend me one for review. I liked it so much, so I asked them to buy it so I can add it to my collection, and they did let me have it at a discounted price. That does not mean I'm going to give it a pass when it comes to my review. In this video, I'm going to point out what I like about the EnduraTimer, as well as what I think could have been done differently. Forzo is a new and exciting microbrand based in England, part of the Gekota group. They focus on designing and creating timepieces inspired by the history of motorsports. The EnduraTimer comes in 5 different colorways, 2 of which are limited edition collaborations. They retail for £400 British. For your money, you get this really nice outer cardboard box with an interesting texture and the brand's name embossed in gold on top. Inside you'll find a detailed instruction manual that it seems a lot of thought was put into. You get a watch box with the same detail work, and inside of it you'll find a branded microfiber cleaning cloth, the watch resting on a nice cushion, and a cool keychain with the brand's shielded tiger logo. All Forzo watches come with 2 years of international guarantee. Let's get the measurements out of the way. The width of the case is 40 mm, its thickness is 12.5 mm including the protruding crystal, the distance between the lugs is 20 mm, and the bracelet tapers down to 16 mm at the clasp. Lug tip to lug tip is 47 mm, and after I removed 4 links, the watch weighs 126 grams. It is water resistant to 100 meters, which is a great feature to have on any watch that isn't a diver. Zooming in on the dial, there's so much going on here, so let's break it down by going from the outside in. Starting with a printed tachymeter around the edge, as it wouldn't be a racing chronograph without one. A tachymeter allows you to measure the speed of a moving object, let's say a racing car, over a known distance, like a racetrack. Let me know if you want me to make a video explaining the different uses of a tachymeter. The main portion of the dial is black with a gravel texture finish. After the tachymeter, there's a white minute track with both 6 of a minute markings and small 10 colored dots indicating every 5 minutes. Next is a set of mixed texture applied indices. There are these faceted batons with brushing on top and polished bevels. They are really nicely done and play beautifully with the light. The 12 o'clock marker is doubled for distinction, and the 3, 6, and 9 are snipped to make room for the 3 subdials. A round date complication window is found between the 4 and 5 o'clock positions, a white date wheel with black numbers printed on it. The 3 subdials are sandwiched into a different layer and have a grooved, record-like texture. The subdial at the 3 o'clock position is a 24 hours indicator. The one at the 9 o'clock counts 60 minutes for the chronograph, and the slightly smaller one at the 6 o'clock is our running seconds complication. Under the 12 o'clock double baton we have Forzo's logo, Chronograph Racing Edition printed in white, and EnduraTimer printed in red below that, giving a nice pop of color. Phew! That is everything on the dial. Definitely a very busy dial, lots of different textures, text and information. The hour and minute hands are dolphin shaped, highly polished, faceted and loomed, and have a 10 colored line going across their centers. The chronograph seconds counter hand is highly polished too, has a loomed lollipop tip, and an edge dipped in the same 10 color as the stripes on the other 2 hands. The small subdial hands are all simple, black-colored pencil-style hands. The only loomed parts on the watch are those 3 main hands, and those are filled with BGW9 superluminova lume compound. They glow in a strong and bright blue light and last for a surprisingly long time. The crystal covering the dial is a tall sapphire with plenty of blue-tinted anti-reflective coating and a cool beveled edge. The case is made of 316L stainless steel. It continues the plethora of different textures found on the dial, with an intricate mixture of brushed and polished surfaces, angles, curves, and bevels. Starting with the multi-beveled fixed bezel that is mostly polished, but finely brushed on its very top. Then we have some radial brushing on the tops of the lugs, highly polished chamfered edges, and horizontal brushing on the sides of the case. The lugs feature drilled holes for easy strap change. The screw-down crown at the 3 o'clock position is signed with an engraved Forzo logo. When you screw it out and pull it to its first operating position, you can set the date, and when you pull it all the way out, you can set the time. The chronograph operation is pretty standard and straightforward. Push the top pusher to engage. The center chronograph hand starts sweeping. Push it again to stop, and push the 4 o'clock pusher to reset the chronograph with a snap. The case back is made of stainless steel too, and it screws down into place. It has Forzo's Tiger logo neatly engraved on the center, and around it, the watch's reference number and serial number, and designed in England. The EnduraTimer is powered by Seiko Instruments VK64. It is a hybrid mecha quartz movement that combines features from both a quartz movement and a mechanical one. The 3 hands telling the time and the date complication function are powered by a quartz module and should be accurate to between plus or minus 20 seconds per month. And the chronograph feature is operated by a mechanical module that makes the chronograph second hand tick 5 times each second, creating a smoother sweeping motion. The battery life should be around 3 years, give or take, depending on how much you use the chronograph. The bracelet is very nice, as it continues the play on brushed and polished finishes found on the case. It is made up of beautifully articulating solid stainless steel links and solid end links. These are flat links, 3 in each row, where the side links are brushed on top and polished on their sides, and the middle links are highly polished. The links are held together with screws for easy adjustment. The end links feature female middle links, which will help the watch wear true to its size with no protrusion. The clasp is fully milled. It is brushed on top and polished on its sides, and has a polished security latch with an engraved logo. It closes with friction only and features plenty of micro adjustment holes to get that perfect fit on the wrist. Speaking of which, here it is on my 7-inch wrist. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. It wears a bit on the large side due to a relatively bulky case, and that's something you'd want to consider if you have smaller wrists. The lugs don't really curve down, so there's a bit of a gap between the case and my wrist, but thanks to those female end links, this isn't too much of an issue. The bracelet overall is very comfortable, thanks to those articulating links and nice taper. Legibility is okay. I was afraid the hands will tend to disappear against everything that is going on the dial, but it's actually not bad at all. I don't find myself struggling to read the time, like on the Pagani designed Daytona Homage for instance. It looks really nice on different straps too, especially on any kind of racing themed leather or NATO strap. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Forzo EnduraTimer as I see them. Pros first. This is hands down one of the best looking chronographs I've seen lately. From the first time I saw it on Forzo's Instagram account, I knew I wanted it, and I was not disappointed. I love its retro design with the nod to the 1960s racing culture. and I love all the different details and textures that were put into this original design. To me, everything just seems to work together very well. Well, almost everything. I'll get to that in a moment. The watch is made of all the right materials, a beautifully finished stainless steel case, a nice and comfortable stainless steel bracelet with solid links and end links, both made to a very high standard. A uniquely shaped sapphire crystal, a functional chronograph powered by a Seiko Mecha Quartz movement, which I have recently grown to love. The packaging is very nice if that's something that's important for you, and overall, the execution and the fit and finish on everything here is impeccable, and so is the attention to details. All that being said, for 400 quid this is not a perfect watch, and there are some things I'd consider cons. Let's first address the elephant in the room. This is a busy dial. A very busy dial even. I reckon that for some it might be too busy, but luckily I happen to like busy dials as long as they are well balanced. For me, the only thing throwing this dial out of balance is the date window at the 4:30 position that I could definitely do without. I would also appreciate a slimmer case, or at least a bit more contour to those lugs, so it would better conform to the wrist. Besides that, as I keep nagging about, blue AR coating is not my favorite thing, and on the EnduraTimer it is specifically prominent. These are all design issues that are my personal takes and my own likes and dislikes. You don't have to agree with me. I haven't found any structural issue or any quality related issue with this watch, and that's good news. The last con, and probably the one I should have started with, is the price. Sure, these are limited edition, designed in England, well made and good looking watches, but I feel that the price could have been lower, probably even £100 lower. I wouldn't mind compromising the box, for example, if that helps bring the price down. To be honest, I'm not familiar with the expenses that go into producing these watches or the profit margins that come from selling them, but I do know that there are many great options for awesome quality watches at this price point. These are my thoughts anyway. Let me know what you guys think by leaving a comment below. If you want to check Forzo's line of extremely cool and retro watches, I will leave a link for you in the description of this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my affordable watch collection, and hit the notification bell for more affordable watches related content. You can also follow me on Instagram and get to know me and my collection a little bit better, get all the news about the channel, and connect with me on a more personal level. If you've enjoyed this video, you might enjoy one of these too as well. I want to thank Forzo for this collaboration, and of course, to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.